Hey, what's going on? Heavy Port Sports, all UK ball, border rivals. We are back, and what happened? We think we lost T. Something happens with T every intro. I think it might be just a game he's playing, but I got him hidden right now. Special guest, our very own Top Gun Maverick. Let's get in T step again. Let's start it over. T's it back in it. Special guest returning. The third of Border Rivals, Top Gun Maverick. He can't tell you what he's been doing the last 3 months because he'd have to kill you. Alex Black, what's up, dude?
What's going on? I was wondering why you kept me backstage, and I was like, "Oh man, here he goes on this thing, dude." Oh, it's good to be back. Good to be back.
Yeah, man, good to have you back. Good to have you back. And the good news is, you got your tail whooped for the last however many months.
Yep.
And then you came back just in time to watch Louisville get their tail whooped by Tennessee.
Busted. That was terrible.
Yeah. Not that I was cheering for it, but I might have been cheering for it, But
yeah, that's all right.
Kind of how it goes.
Yeah, you haven't had much to cheer for this season. You haven't had much to cheer for this season anyway, so it's fine.
We beat Indiana. We did all right. We just had to. You just got to get one. Domino effect. You get one. They all start coming easy now. Rick Pitino better watch out. T, how you been, man?
Good. Hanging out, trying to make it to Christmas. Knocked out all the holiday shopping, so we're good, man. We're hanging out.
This is the best, worst time of year, man. This
is my
watching the credit card go up.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm still so used to Marine Corps Ramadan. So, like, generally speaking, zero gets done in the Marine Corps from November until January because in November we got Veterans Day, we got the Marine Corps birthday, we got Thanksgiving, and then that rolls straight into December, and everybody's just limping through trying to get to Christmas and New Year. So it's still an adjustment for me. Them saying we got to actually work on Christmas Eve and stuff. I'm like, what does that even mean? I'm used to nothing happening. So,
do you get the 24th and 26th off? Are you part of that crew that? Oh, dang.
Nope. So the governor gave us the governor gave us a half day on the 24th. I'm gonna just take the 26th off, but it's not a built-in off day.
Yeah, the worst part about taking leave at this time, if you have to go out of state, is I got to burn 14 days of leave to go back home, but I'm missing 4 actual work days. So I'm burning 2 weeks up to miss 4 days of people working. And like you said, those 4 days, nothing's happening anyways. No work is actually getting done. But it is.
Yeah, that's the nice part. I can apply common sense to my leave, and I don't have to use leave over weekends and holidays and stuff like we had to in the Marine Corps. So that part is nice. Your leave is only used for work hours, not the days that you're off anyway. But yeah, so still an adjustment, but it's all good.
Hammer, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. I got a couple more things that have to happen for my Prize Picks bet to hit. But we'll see. It's looking like a long shot right now. Put some faith in some LA Rams tight ends and also Cooper Kupp. So stop throwing the ball to Smith and Jigba and a little more Cooper Kupp. But after he fumbled, I'm not sure he's going to get the ball much more.
Yeah, he may not see many more targets. No, I'm right there with you, though, with the Rams tight ends. I thought it would be a little harder to get Puka the ball.
They're playing great. They're playing great right now. I need Kobe Parkinson to just keep not catching the ball. Yeah. My cousin was over here talking a whole bunch of junk about how he's about to whoop me right now, but Buddy's got 2 points, so I'm loving this. This is great.
I have negative 1 point in one league.
Oh no!
My only player, he's got negative points. I'm like, how's that even a thing? So,
Black, you got Kyron Williams too? Did you say you had?
I would love for them to just feed him.
That's what I'm hoping, because I have him as well, and I'm hoping like just to try to run, bleed the clock out. They just feed Kyron, just feed him and bleed the clock.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, that's what I need.
There was way too much Blake Corum in the first half because I had Kyron over. Yeah, I had the Kyron over and a Kyron touchdown. I'm saying like I think he got 3 carries inside the 5. I'm like, what are we doing? Wasn't Kyron like one of the top backs, the touchdown backs last year? Like, let's go ahead and get him to football.
Right.
Yeah, man. They've been splitting carries.
Picked off.
Oh no, baby. That's a big boy. That's a big man interception right there.
Yeah, it is. Sam Darnold's going to Sam Darnold sometimes, man. What are you going to do about it?
He saw Ghost last time they played, so it's not surprising.
So Seattle loses. That means the Rams will go as the NFC West winner, right? But Seattle will go as a wild card.
More than likely, I think all 3 West teams.
Yeah, Seattle's still. I'm pretty.
Unfortunately for your Cardinals.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't expect the Cardinals to go anyway. So that's just
the Niners are like 10 and something like that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. The Niners just kind of find a way, man.
Yeah,
just find a way.
Yeah, now Brock Purdy's back, feeling it, slinging it, looking good. Kittle's healthy. What is this? Is this a t-shirt and hat game for LA if they win? So they clinch the division with the win.
I don't know if they clinch the division. I know they clinch a playoff spot. I don't think they get the division though.
Oh, okay. Let's start off with the Louisville Cardinal game.
There'll be a game up.
Mikael Brown out.
Ugh.
Starting point guard out.
Yeah.
Big hit for Louisville. I don't know. Yeah. AB, you were talking about like it seemed you were pissed off that didn't seem like you had a plan without Mikael. It's tough when you starting point guards out. It's like, is it really your plan? You weren't prepared, or is it just tough to get to your plan because the dude who's you're used to running the offense isn't doing it?
Yeah. I was really surprised, honestly, and I might be lagging a little bit here behind you guys. I was giving T a bunch of junk about his. Feel free to cut me off if I'm lagging. I just didn't see anybody take over as the floor general. I was kind of expecting them to run the offense through Conwell, and it didn't look like they had a good plan between Conwell and Woolley as to who was actually going to run the point. And then like McNeely just disappeared for the entire first half, which was also painful. But I don't know if it was like, because like I said, I was really surprised when they came out and said Mikael wasn't playing because it looked like it just popped up out of nowhere right before the game started. But I mean, either way, like I stand by the fact that I think PK just got completely outcoached by Rick Barnes that entire game. Like Rick Barnes had a game plan. They ran us off the 3-point line the entire first half. And as we know, we're a very 3-point heavy team. So I thought they did a great job first half with all the closeouts. And then by the time some of them started falling a little bit in the second half, it's just too little too late. And then really what killed us was Tennessee's bigs just absolutely dominated us through the entire game. Like we got out physicaled, and that's not typically something that we see. And, between the threes not falling, the lack of physicality, and then the inability really to create any kind of turnovers and get out and run, I think we put ourselves in way too big of a hole, especially to start the second half with the 3-pointers not falling.
Yeah, I caught the first half and then the last few minutes of the game. And from what I saw, I haven't watched a lot of Tennessee basketball, but that looked like Akpar's best game of the season, at least in spurts from what I saw. You guys agree as Tennessee fans? He looked like a man amongst boys in that game. He pretty much could do whatever he wanted from the moments that I saw.
Well, you probably saw that little 3 to 5 minute stretch where he had a block and a couple dunks and some pretty big boy rebounds, but he was kind of quiet the first half. Jalen Carey, the transfer from Peabody, has turned into a stud for our front court, especially with Cade Phillips out for the season. We need him to step up and and play some important minutes. And man, he certainly did against Louisville. It was good to see him be so physical and them feed him the ball because he was having his way. And I was surprised at how much bigger Tennessee's lineup was compared to Louisville's. I mean, even the bigs. I know the big guy Khalifa. Me and T were talking. I called him Wiz Khalifa. They pretty much neutralized him, and there wasn't anybody else that really was given the bigs, really much resistance. So, but definitely with your point guard out, that good for us, but I know that was crippling for you guys.
Yeah.
As it would
T, what'd you think about the game, man?
I was honestly a little.
You can go ahead, Black.
Oh, I was gonna say, that was the other thing
lagging.
that really kind of. Yeah, I'm lagging bad. I'm lagging real bad. Like it was like it was. There was like a 30-second pause in there where I thought I had room to talk, and then I was like.
Okay. I think he might have gone from lagging out. We'll get him back in here when he reconnects.
Okay.
That is kind of funny because he was on you in the group chat about your internet being junk.
I've never had internet issues. I just have an old computer. My internet is fine. My computer's terrible.
I'm telling you, he lives right down the way. It's this San Marcos Wi-Fi, man. It's like everything out here is expensive, but nothing works. It's ridiculous.
Nothing works. Yeah, just pay a lot for a whole lot of little. So at the beginning of the season, Hammer and I would text a lot and about hoop, and we were both kind of like, man, I don't know if there's space for Carey in this front court, like in the beginning, and I don't know if he had some injury stuff or there was still some stuff he had to figure out, but he very clearly has figured it out and what I appreciate is the fact that he didn't pout or whatever. He would maximize the minutes that he got. And he is now going to be, if Barnes wants to keep pulling him off the bench just so we have something to bring off the bench, he's going to be gaining, right? In that he's going to play starter minutes or close to starter minutes, and he's going to finish games, even if he doesn't start. So what I appreciate is that our front court is showing an ability to be effective defensively and offensively because we still don't have the perimeter scoring ability I think that we need, but now we can play some inside out game, which helps the perimeter a lot when your front court is a threat. So I'm glad we're showing that. Ament definitely looked like he took some steps forward. He's not there yet, but he looked a whole lot better. He looked more comfortable. I think it was Jimmy Dike on the call. Was that who it was, Hammer?
I believe so. I know he was there.
I thought Jimmy Dykes made a really good observation because he talked a lot about how Mint is not quite there physically yet. But one thing I did notice is that Mint, when he's dribbling, he's already 6'10", and he stands all the way, all 6'10" of him is standing straight up while he's dribbling. So he's got to learn to get lower. One, that's going to give him a more solid base to absorb some contact and keep moving. But two, is going to help limit turnovers because it makes it harder to strip you when you're lower to the ground than when you're dribbling straight up. But even with that, I thought Ament looked a whole lot better. He looked more comfortable, smarter shot selection, more comfortable looking shot selection. So I liked it. I would have liked to seen us play them with Brown in there. And I don't know if Brown would have made enough difference for them to win, but it would have been a good challenge for our perimeter play. I think we had too much on the interior for them to overcome, even with how dynamic Brown is. But I would have liked to have seen him play. And then the last thing, we still stink at free throws. We got to get better at free throws. And I also like that Berg, even if just for a couple minutes, was able to spell Gillespie at point guard. Because the first games of the season, like Gillespie was not coming out at all.
Yeah, he's playing 35, 36 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I mean he still hit 34 minutes, but I think at least now Coach Barnes can find a way to spell him where 34 game minutes you can find some real-time minutes to get some more rest, because Berg has shown that you can trust him at least for a few minutes to run the offense a little bit.
Yeah.
So I liked the win. I thought we looked a whole lot better. It looked like we got 10 days of practice, but I do take it not really with a grain of salt, but just a little bit differently because Brown wasn't in there. Just would have liked to see the full complete team win.
But to y'all's point about Carey, I think we talked about this early in the season, or it might have been when he first committed to Tennessee. He gave both of us problems last year. Yes. When we went to Vandy, he gave us a problem. And for us, he was beating us up inside, and he was extending and shooting the outside shot. He was, hitting the three, in Nashville when we played him at their house. So he's definitely got potential. And yeah, he's that like physical presence that you'll have, what like Mo Diabate was for us and hopefully is for us against Indiana and then moving forward, where it's just like a dude who's Barnes isn't gonna draw a lot up for Carey probably, but if he's gonna go get his on the glass and he's gonna get hustle minutes and stand out defensively, the ball has energy. It's gonna find him, right? He's gonna be able to get buckets that way. And having that presence is big for a team, especially a Rick Barnes team who's going to feed off defense and physicality. And that's if your offense isn't hitting, you still got a chance to win because creating turnovers, making things difficult, taking away the best attribute of the other team. Rick Barnes is rarely going to get out coached, in my opinion. Even as someone who isn't a Tennessee fan, you got to appreciate what he is as a basketball coach. Yeah, I just looked at the box score, AB. They talk about how Tennessee didn't shoot good from the free throw line. Y'all shot 61% and 21% from three. You ain't not a recipe to win a lot of games.
Nah, yeah. It was embarrassing, to be honest. Like it was a highly embarrassing game to watch. And it was like I thought the announcers did a good job of talking about it. It's like, that threes 50, what do we shoot? I think 58% of our total scoring this year has come from beyond the arc, which is all good, well and good when you're shooting, in the high 30s, low 40s, but you come out and you throw the same thing with Arkansas. We shot, I think, like below 30% from three at Arkansas. It's been the two tough road games we've had this year. And you start getting into these NCAA tournament games, or even into like having to go play Duke at Duke. Games like that, it's like there has to be another answer. Do I think Michael makes a bigger difference because he's able to drive, he's able to penetrate, you get better open looks? Yeah, but at the same time, we've got to find some kind of production from the front court. I think really a dude that I'm looking at for that is Kenai Roos. He's not the biggest of front court players, but I think he not yesterday, but in that game and in a couple games I've watched, he's spending too much time out at the perimeter when we need him inside. Because we don't have bigs like Tennessee does, but I think we have guys that are kind of scared, or at least looks like they're scared to play inside out. And if we are going to be the team that people thought we were going to be at the beginning of the season, that's an answer we have to get figured out, because it can't just come like games we're not shooting well from behind the arc. There has to be some other kind of production.
I thought it was crazy because, like, you could tell we made a concentrated effort to run y'all off the 3-point line.
Yep.
Or at least contest everything. And Louisville just looked so uncomfortable once they got inside the 3-point line.
Yep.
Like, guys who were going in for layups just looked like they didn't know how to shoot a layup. And like, if it wasn't a three, they didn't know what to do. And I think that's just kind of a larger representation of what basketball is right now. Like, everybody just wants to penetrate and kick for a 3-pointer or a dunk. And if it's not a 3-pointer or a dunk, nobody knows what to do, generally speaking. And I was remarking on that to my wife, who I'm just might as well talk to a wall because she don't care what I'm saying. But but I was just like, man, they don't know what to do, because there were clean looks there available, and they just didn't look comfortable and in rhythm when they shot them after they got run off the three. So
yeah,
I was glad that Barnes had the boys defensively focus in on running y'all off the line because they just looked out of sorts after that.
Yeah, and again, I'm looking at dudes like Conwell and looking at dudes like Woolley because both of those guys are able to penetrate and get buckets that way. Woolley did a good job of it. Conwell did not, and that killed us. We really needed him to step up and kind of play that facilitator role, and he did not do it very well.
Yeah, Conwell locked up 13 threes. And
yeah. But I mean, so looking at it, I mean, y'all shot 34 threes, which for PK's offense, like that's pretty normal. That's not normal. Outrageous. Yeah. But the problem is you shot 20% for him, but then you got into T's point, your 2-point buckets. You shot 58 of them. You only could get 22 of them go down.
Yeah.
That's a 38% clip. And then when you did get fouled, you couldn't make your free throw shot. So the live by the three, die by the three, that is college basketball. A lot of offenses are getting to that point. But you mentioned before, like both your losses that you couldn't recover from bad shooting was on the road, right? It's really tough. It can silence the crowd, but on the road, if you can't see those first ones go in, it can really be an avalanche effect there where now the other, the opposing crowd, the home crowd is sitting there getting into it, and that rim gets smaller and smaller and smaller,
Yep. Absolutely.
But hey, if anybody in the chat has the Final Four Kentucky-Wisconsin volleyball game on, I was getting ready to turn on, and now this football game has turned into something special. So 2-point game now with 6 minutes left. Put in the chat. I think that Wisconsin was actually winning, which would devastate Kentucky fans if we lose another Final Four to Wisconsin. But let's not put that in the ether. All right, so now we got. We'll talk. You guys got any save rounds on Louisville and Tennessee?
Nah.
What else you got, Hammer?
Well, the only thing I was going to chime in, we were talking about how we were able to kind of get Louisville off the 3-point line or put them in, tough spots. I think something that kind of gets overlooked and not talked about enough, at least from Tennessee's perspective, is how good of a perimeter defender that Felix Okpara is. Because he will come out from under the basket and he'll guard threes and twos. Like he's that good that he's out there on the perimeter contesting shots.
Oh yeah.
And then, he'll chase guys down from behind, block shots. So he's very athletic and very mobile. And that's, at least for Louisville or a team like Louisville, that can be tough because you don't expect guys like that to be able to be that fluid and move. So that was just another reason that, I think Louisville struggled with their shooting was, having a guy, a 7-footer in your face out on the perimeter. So, but
I agree.
It's hard to, like T and I talked and T mentioned, it would have been nice had Brown been out there just because we kind of need to know where we stand with our backcourt getting ready to head into league play.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to see a guy like that every single night. In conference play. So, and the one thing that we've always been able to hang our hat on when all else has failed, we've been able to play good defense. So as long as that can happen, I feel like we can kind of hang with anybody, but the league's pretty deep again this year, maybe not nationally ranked, but I've watched some of the other schools. There's not going to be too many easy outs come conference play time. So
highly agree. But like I said, I was thoroughly impressed with your all's front court. Your front court was, and to your point though, Okpara, like I definitely want to dog hump that one. Okpara played his ass off. That was really impressive.
Before we go into Kentucky, St. John's, did y'all just see that play? The 2-point conversion play? That was wild, man.
Clear recovery. Ball game.
Charbonnet getting a game ball for that one. He just went and scooped that thing up. Next thing he knows, he gets the 2-point conversion.
Man, I got him on the bench too, man.
Yes. Yep.
I was wild. Now all of a sudden we went from Rams dominating this thing and Rashid Shaheed worth the trade now with that kick return. All right, so Kentucky St. John's in CATlanta. Kentucky coming off the big win against Indiana. Didn't look great first half. It seemed like the last 14 minutes of that game, Kentucky really started to figure something out. Hopefully broke through and, kind of figured out what their identity is going to be as a basketball team. Going to have to be a, physical, downhill, take threes when they're open, but not live by them. Not be a finesse team that we were kind of last year. But, if we got a bunch of athletes, which Pope kind of overcorrected and didn't have athletes last year, but had a bunch of shooters, got athletes now shooting not so great. Let's adjust there. And also a big addition potentially with Jaden Quayton's coming back, which I'm a little bit concerned about because it's his first game and we are potentially playing the most physical team that we will in a St. John's Rick Pitino coached. So he's not going to get a lot of minutes. I would imagine he's definitely going to be capped if he does get out there and play. But is it going to be a good game just to drop him in? We shall see. I do. He's going to be special, but probably going to take some time for him to really figure it out. But hey, throw him into the fire and see how it goes. But I'll talk to AB about it. You obviously watched your team get coached by Rick Pitino. He is always going to have his team ready. Like I said, physical, defensively, he's going to apply the full press. So he's able to figure out how to really neutralize some of his own team flaws by doing other things that take your team out of sync. A lot of it is through the press. I don't know if you've watched any St. John's basketball so far. They're not a great shooting team. They don't have a team that can really score well, and they got some issues on the front court, which Hammer's got some stats and some thoughts on that. But Rick Pitino in Atlanta, neutral site game, St. John's going to have talent. Bryce Hopkins, former Cat, who is now playing for them. What do you see him doing in this game to try to push Pope and this team outside their comfort zone?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, it's the standard game plan you can expect from old Ricky P, man, right? Like it's controlled chaos. I think to your point though, the one thing that they are missing is the kind of the threat, the outside shooting threat that they have had in past years. So I think that kind of takes away from what he tries because, man, back to the glory days of him, at Louisville or at Kentucky, they put that full court press on, trap a guy at half court, you get a steal, kick out three. And then to your point, you get the crowd into it. I have watched parts of a couple of games this year. I do not think are what you would consider like a typical offensive Rick Pitino type team. But to your point, I think that's exactly what you can expect is they're going to mix up the defenses. He likes to switch defenses multiple times in the game. He'll apply the press when he can. And I think the only real way that they can slow you guys down sufficiently, because they're going to have to keep it a low scoring game, is to create those turnovers and get those easy buckets out in transition, which is exactly what you expect from a Pitino coach team. I think it'll be interesting to see. I think the neutral site probably plays into your all's favor, just because we know Kentucky fans travel very well. So
CATlanta, baby.
Yeah, man. I think if you can avoid getting down big early and kind of keep the crowd in the game, and you guys can play physical, because again, like we talked about it after the Louisville Kentucky game. To your point, they have to use those athletes. You need Otega in there, driving, kicking, doing not trying to impress the NBA scouts by taking outside shots. That's not the ball player he is. I honestly do like the matchup for y'all though, especially if you play the way that you did against Indiana. I think it's going to work out for you, which I hate to say out loud, but
I didn't watch any of the Indiana game. I'm looking at the stats and how did y'all win? Like, and no dig. This is not a dig. I'm just so like you shot 3 for 15 from 3-point. You only shot 66% from the free throw line and 38% from the field. Like none of those.
Look at turnovers and rebounds, man.
Yep.
That was the game.
Yep,
Turnovers and rebounds.
It was the defense and the physicality.
You lost the rebound. They had 37 rebounds. Y'all had 34. But you did have 14 offensive rebounds.
That's what I'm saying.
Rebounds, yeah.
Second chance.
They had 18 turnovers and y'all only had 4. But even with that, y'all only had 9 fast break points and they had 7.
Yeah.
Like nothing in the box score shows a 12-point win, which obviously you still got it. I'm just curious, like what did you see that you liked? I mean, your boy Noah, he only played 11 minutes. I don't know if he only had 1 foul, so he wasn't in foul trouble. But I don't know who subs in for him, but there's 4 dudes on the bench who played 20 plus minutes. Looks like they replaced Colin Chandler and Noah for the most part. But the box score doesn't paint a pretty picture, but y'all won by 12.
Yeah, so what I liked was Pope went to his normal rotation in the first half, trying to play a lot of minutes. In the second half, he played with what was working, right? So it almost seemed like he was feeling the game out. And then second half, he didn't do the analytics thing. He just rode the dudes who were playing. And one of those dudes was Brandon Garrison, the guy who got benched in the game previously because his effort was trash and Pope hollering at him on the sideline. And, I hate watching you play basketball, snapping clipboards. Like, he went full Rick Pitino mode on this dude who's got potential but just was playing lazy. He stepped up. The second half, the last 14 minutes of the game, and rebounds that don't count as rebounds in the box score. It was Mo Diabate. There was a couple ones, and Brandon Garrison as well, chasing after loose balls. Ended up going off Indiana. That was to us. Rebounds that turned into jump balls that were change of possessions for us. So some of that stuff didn't show up in the box score, but it resulted in extra possessions for Kentucky because we weren't shooting well. And we were getting to the free throw line, and we weren't, making them, especially early. That percentage went way up in the second half. We finally started hitting free throws. But in the first half, we had missed 7 of them, and we were down 7, if I remember correctly. So, the game shouldn't have been close. We should have been, or the game should have been closer in the first half, but we shot ourselves in the foot. And the Louisville game for you, Indiana wanted to shoot a bunch of threes. Lamar Wilkerson that's what he does. He wants to jack up, and he's really their primary scorer. Also, I think it's the coach's kid. I'm blanking on his name right now. Starts with the S, I believe, his last name. But he didn't have a big game, and we were able to contain Lamar, and then I think they shot 18, 20% or something from 3. So they wanted to be a volume 3-point shooting team, and we ran them on 3-point line, which we have done all season. Outside the Louisville game, we've held every other, UNC, Gonzaga, and even though we lost that one big, all of them have been within that 20% range from 3. So our perimeter defense has been well. And we just were a different team. The team that got smacked around by Gonzaga and Michigan State and Louisville, to be fair, for a lot of that game, was gone. It was we are now going to be a scrappy, hard-nosed team that's going to lead on our front court and let our back court, kind of work itself into the game as J-Lo is still not quite healthy, and Denzel Aberdeen is trying to figure out how to play point guard. But I think the biggest thing that got us that lead and maintained that lead was early on, Trent Noah hit a 3, and after that, he wasn't in the game. Colin Chandler was getting smoked by Wilkerson on defense. Moreno just didn't have it. It was BG's game in the front court, and then Mo Diabate and J-Lo came in off the bench and really elevated the team. So he rode that 5 hard in the second half. Jay on the rando recap was we finally saw Pope have cow energy, as he called it. Was in the second half, he rode these dudes. He's they got thrown into the ocean and came out soaking wet. They were just smoked, right? But these guys were the ones playing, scoring buckets, beating the other team. So we didn't worry about the analytics based off we got so many minutes playing, so we got to rest these guys for performance later in the game. We just drove those dudes into the ground to get a big needed win. And that's going to have to be what this team is moving forward. We got depth, so let's use the depth in the first half. see who's clicking, who's on, who's off, who's got the game plan figured out. And the second half, ride the dudes who do as much as you can and reduce the rotation from maybe 10 or 11 in the first half to 7 or 8 in the second half.
Yeah, I think Pope just has to. We talk about it all the time. Like, I know he's an analytics guy, but like you sometimes you just gotta say to hell with the analytics, throw it out the window. Whatever's working, stick with it. So we'll see, man. And I think that, your success for the rest of the season, I think, kind of hinges largely on that. If he's going to continue to do that. Because sometimes you just got to go with the feel of the game, man. Like, I get it, the percentages say what they say, but you got to use your instincts as the basketball coach that he is. And I still hold the opinion that he is a good basketball coach, although I know a lot of your fan base probably is still calling for his head even after another win. But yeah, I think that just kind of bites him a lot. So if he can continue to do that and then go with the feel, like, I think it's going to work out for y'all.
Hammer, you had some stuff that you were talking about in this game before we went live, and also liked Kentucky's chances in this game. What do you see from St. John's and the Cats, where we potentially able to pull out a big win? Which Rick Pitino is, I believe, 7-0 against his former players and assistant coaches.
Well, I think he's about to be 7-1.
Let's go, baby.
And, that's not Kentucky love there. That's just facts. Because I think where you guys have an opportunity to, I won't say blow them off the floor, but there's two areas that St. John struggles with that kind of play into Kentucky's favor. That's their poor three-point shooting, which they don't shoot a lot of three-pointers, but when they do, they're not very good. And they are, they're in the high 200s ranking in defensive rebounds. And Kentucky is top 35 in offensive rebounds. So I think there's some opportunity there for some second chance points with your bigs rebounding because it's a clear advantage. And then, really that I'm going to butcher his name, but Jayafor, their big forward. Mm-hmm. Man, if you can just limit him, you're not going to stop him. He's going to get his, but if you can just limit him from having a 30-point game, I don't see the rest of the team. I don't see anybody else stepping up and really, balling out. And, one, just to throw this out there, because it's kind of my world too. I think Kentucky wins this game. I don't know what the odds. The line's not been released, so I don't know what I would think. Rando, you had said you thought St. John's would be favored. I disagree. I think Kentucky will be favored 2.5, 3.5 points. And I think this game goes under whatever total they throw out there. St. John's, they're 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. 4 of those 5 have gone under the total. Kentucky has gone under 5 of their last 7. And this is weird, but it matters. Okay. St. John's is 0-8 in its last 8 games against the SEC. They are 0-6 in their last 6 games they've played in the month of December.
Wow.
And they are 3-8 in their last
11. Hashtag stat that.
Yeah.
3-8 straight up in their last 11 games when playing a road game on a Saturday. Now, that sounds like a goofy-ass stat, but it matters.
Yeah.
So I everything data-wise, and I know, Charles Barkley would say I'm one of those idiots that believes in it. You know what? That's okay. But, man, to me, everything points to Kentucky winning this game. It doesn't hurt the fact that it's, I'm not saying that. It's in Atlanta. I'm not saying that, Rando.
Yeah, don't say that out loud.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
it is factual. It's CATlanta. Back in the old SEC tournament days.
Oh my
god! We can all make up
they
stuff
need us
on the internet.
Well,
we can all make up stuff on the internet.
They need to send the SEC tournament back to Atlanta. I feel like ever since it went to Nashville, we slowly declined.
That's a terrible place for the tournament.
Yeah,
Nashville's a horrible place for the tournament.
It really is.
So
Atlanta?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
as long as they don't play the football stadium. I hate playing anything in Nashville, and I hate basketball games in football stadiums. Those are the two most horrid things ever. But anyway, I digress. Randall, I'm sorry. Just everything points to Kentucky winning this game. So
that's good news. That's good news, man. I just feel I'm still in the you got to prove it to me mode. Out there we got a big win in Indiana, and maybe that is a thing. That we just had to see. Get the monkey off our back there. Losing that game in Rupp. The rivalry back. 2 million people watching it, setting records for a basketball game in the month of December. And losing that game would have been real bad for Pope and most of the fan base, who like AB said was already starting to get out on Pope. On top of all the recruiting nonsense that's going on right now with JMI and us not being able to land a big guy and dudes that were locked to us losing their crystal balls like that, we couldn't have that avalanche happen to us. We got it figured out though. The team looked like something clicked there. And if we can build on that, I think that's big.
I don't think this is a typical Rick Pitino coach team. I don't think this is a typical St. John's team this year either. And for what it's worth, Rando, I mean,
he did say what this is the most miserable coaching experience of his life or something.
He did say that out loud.
And there's one thing Rick Pitino's not is he's a liar. He'll tell you. So, but and the other thing you can kind of take some solace in, Rando, is beating Louisville's not for everybody, so it's okay.
Man, J-Lo just makes a couple free throws, and this is a different conversation, but it's a part of the game too.
Yeah, if frogs had wings, they wouldn't bump their asses, brother. It's okay.
Yep. If we're fists, we'd all be drunk. I get it. But it's a big game. This is one. I do think Rick Pitino's got a little bit of a soft spot for Pope too. So maybe he doesn't, maybe he lets us get one here, which I'll be okay. I'll be okay with that too. Then again, he also may not care and want to keep his undefeated record, and he'll have no problem pummeling Pope. Pope did say that Ricky P reached out to him after the Michigan State game and told him to get his act together. So coach is still engaged with his former captain, which is nice. I put this tweet out there. The Rick Pitino, Kentucky national champion babyface to leaving, coming back to Louisville, heel turn, back to coming into Rupp Arena, calling it Camelot and supporting Pope in another babyface turn. Like WWE couldn't have written, that storyline. It's so wild. I mean, this dude went from, we hated him after he made that move to now all of a sudden, we're talking about make him the GM of Kentucky basketball, welcome him back. But you gotta love Ricky P, and again, respect him as a coach. I do think this is a close game. If they are going to press, like you said, they aren't a team that wants to play very fast. I feel like we were best when we are getting out. We have a lot of fast break points, but when we can get out, if we can beat the press early and they show it and make them get out of it, that's going to be huge. So. J-Lo being back, I don't know if he's going to start, but at least him getting a lot of minutes, and then, someone who's physical enough to slow down Hopkins, who's their leading scorer, and really win the rebound margin. I think that's got to be a thing. We got to be that top 35 team on the offensive rebounds, because we're still going to take outside shots. We haven't shown we can actually make those outside shots, but we can shoot them and get our misses back and have another opportunity. That's big, right? So if you're going to miss a lot, get the rebound and try to make the second chance. And then
you have to exploit that weakness for St. John's. You have to.
Yeah. And but we shall see what it's going to be like. Saturday's going to be a big 9:30 tip for us out here in California, so there might be a little Kentucky brown water in my coffee. Well, we'll see how it goes.
A little early, yeah.
We'll see. See if I can at least wait till to halftime. Yeah, it's gonna be a big game. Cool to see him out there. And I don't know. There's some speculation that we might see the Denims back so Kentucky rocking the Denims. I don't know how that works. Neutral site game. I know that they've been teasing them. I thought when I looked at the calendar and Pope said preseason that the Denims are coming back this year. Converse is doing a re-release of the denim shoes next season. I believe it is in 2026. So they're releasing that denim uniform at some point this year. It just makes sense to do it right now. So if you can do it at a neutral site, obviously whatever home and away it is, it just makes sense. Rick Pitino was the coach in '96 when they released them, and this comeback game, let's make it happen. And if we are wearing denims, I feel like that's another stat that you just got to throw out there and be like, throw the money on Kentucky at this point. All those things Hammer said plus the denims feels like a no-brainer win. I feel like that's just a lock there. But I got nothing else to say about that game. I think the next thing to talk about is our parting shot here, our heavy take. Is this Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua fight real? Is it real? Because if it's not a work, Jake Paul might die tomorrow.
It's got to be a work. There's no way there's no way this is a straight up fight.
No.
Which is why I hate Jake Paul and what he has done to boxing.
It is such a joke, man. Like, oh my God. I would love nothing more than for Anthony Joshua to just go out there and just absolutely starch this dude in the first round. Because the man is he cut weight to get to 245. He cut weight to get to 245. Jake Paul gained weight to get to what, 215? Is that where he's at right now?
212 or something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Anthony Joshua's walking around at like 265, 270, dude. That man is a freaking behemoth. I don't care if he's 37 years old.
Yeah, he's like Ray Lewis size. Ray Lewis prime. That's how big this cat is.
Jake Paul got the 212 fat. Anthony Joshua's 245 lean.
245 lean.
Yeah.
And he's going to rehydrate and look like an absolute Goliath out there tomorrow, dude. Like, that guy is I'm with you, dude. Like, I can't. I'm dying over what has happened to the sport of boxing. And it was already on the down and out before all of this circus started.
Yeah.
And then, you get dudes like Bud Crawford's gone. Canelo's, out of his prime. He's probably not going to be around for much longer. Honestly,
he's done after that fight.
Yeah, like I just, there's no squeeze for it anymore. And you see it in that, it used to be all these big like HBO pay-per-views, like you got to pay to watch boxing. Now every time you turn around and it's a big boxing match, it's on some streaming service because they just can't get there's no Floyd Mayweather walking out selling tickets anymore.
Yeah.
Again, Canelo's not a big draw anymore. You don't got Triple G anymore to draw tickets. Like, it's just, it's sad.
Well, love him or hate him, Dana White might be the guy who's got to save the sport, man. Him getting involved, and I know people don't really like where the money's coming from. Yeah, and I get that. That's not a conversation for this show, but Dana White can promote, and he might be the one who can go out there and save the sport and stop making it a mockery. Because you're right, like. People are taking cupcake fights to keep the records, and I'm not a Floyd Mayweather fan. I think he was part of the downfall while he was a great fighter. Sure. The fact that he never took those prime fights when the fighters were in their prime, he didn't want to go down as greatest boxer ever. He wanted to go down as best record ever. Right. So, that stinks too, but hopefully, we can get it. Cause I do. I mean, I box all through high school. I love the sport. My best man at the wedding was a pro boxer. He came on and did the show with us that we did for the Canelo Crawford fight. And it's not exciting anymore. And you're not going to get people to pay the money. Somehow they generate stupid money still, but I'm sure as hell not going to pay the money to go watch these fights.
Hi.
And if
you got to put your face
what's up?
Hi.
Hey girl, did you win today?
Nah, it was a rough game. That's all right. We'll bounce back. Bounce back. She played hard.
Yeah.
She played hard.
But Kentucky volleyball in the Final Four, for those who care, are back in the fifth set, rallied just like they did in the SEC tournament. We're up 3-1 against Wisconsin. So, hey, we're an everything school. What can I say? What can I say?
Volleyball school. It's volleyball.
What y'all didn't know, when I said we were hanging banner 9 this year, I meant the women's volleyball 9th SEC championship, which happened. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, it ain't gonna be
I maybe wasn't super clear about what I meant there, but that's what I was talking about.
Are you going to have room with all those exhibition win banners you got hanging?
That's right. That's right.
Oh man,
that team is out there. We just got to find them again. The team that beat Purdue pretty well. It's there. We just got to get it pieced together.
That's right up there with that 8-4, 10-2 football record prediction. We might just not let Kyle make football season predictions for the remainder of this.
Well, I was all the way out on predictions, and then we hired Will Stein, and now I'm all the way back.
Now I'm back. Now I'm back in. Yeah, hey, that's a good hire right there. That's a good hire. I probably missed that conversation, but
yeah, well, we can get into it. We got some time. Do you all know? I know the answer. I'm seeing it. Just seeing if you do. The 5th set in volleyball, does that go to 25 or is it 15?
No, 15.
First to 15 by 2.
I knew that. That's why I was asking to make sure y'all did.
Just squeeze the mouse. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. But look, the football was released. We actually didn't talk about the schedule much. I don't have it pulled up, but 7-5 is a legit possibility next year for Kentucky. You got to get a couple, but maybe LSU doesn't pick up with Lane Kiffin right away. I know that's a tough one. But if you can surprise a team and get a win, especially at home with the excitement of Will Stein, 7-5 is a possibility. Which I think first year Will Stein gets to 7-5, that would be big. 6-6 I think is realistic. 7-5 though I think is possible. Yeah. And if you do that, I think that is enough to get the ball really going for Will Stein, Kentucky football, and maybe making a special run.
Will Stein enthusiast said Kentucky football is back. My one question would be back.
Don't say where.
Back where?
Back from the dead. I don't.
But where are they going back to? There's nowhere to return.
We're 1950 Bear Bryant National Championship. We are
back to the 50s.
We
all right. Cut the pod off. Okay. Cut the podcast. We're done.
Back to the 50s. Got it. All right. I was just curious. Where were we going back to? Got it. Man. Got it. Speaking of the schedule. Relative to a 9-game SEC schedule, UGA's has to be one of the easiest out there, which is not fair that Georgia gets like the relative ease in an SEC schedule. So I expect them to probably have a good season. And in other news, Texas hired Muschamp as their defensive coordinator, which is who I wanted at Tennessee. So I am very concerned that Texas is going to be good. And I hate Texas, and I don't want them to be good. But their defense is about to be – that defense is about to be something serious.
Yeah. Yeah, Muschamp was a good hire.
Great hire. Great hire.
Yeah, he was floated around as a possibility at Kentucky, from some folks to at least go talk to him. But Texas, there's other jobs that he was going to take that were not even arguably, definitely better jobs at the moment. Than being the DC at Kentucky. So we still got to kind of figure that out. Will Stein's kind of slow rolling a lot of his staff, which makes sense. I actually appreciate him focusing on Oregon right now. I think that's going to play when it comes to potential guys hitting the transfer portal and following him from Oregon to Kentucky. Like if he did Lane Kiffin was kind of forced out. But if he did that thing where hey, I'm taking this job piece, I'm going, the co-offense coordinator got you in your chance to make a legit run at a title. I could see how they would feel a certain way, but if he's there focusing on them, let's go win a title before I leave. Even if they fall short, I think some of these guys who are looking for an opportunity at the SEC, who are still 4- and 5-star guys, but further on the depth chart, Oregon might follow him to Kentucky. The big news for the week for Kentucky football was I think we still go see transfer portal QB action. But the messaging right now from Will Stein and Sloan are Cutter Boley's our QB1 next year, which I don't mind. I think he's shown flashes, 4-star guy. We all know how Coach Evans feels about him. He thinks he's overrated and played just terrible talent in Kentucky, and kind of got elevated that way, and still showed an ability to turn the ball over with his touchdown interception ratio in high school. But you can't deny that he has made impressive throws, made impressive plays, and in key moments was able to win us some ball games or at least get us close. The Texas game we lose, but he outplays Arch Manning, right, in that game by a bunch. So he's shown flashes. Now, that being said, I would have been super excited for an Oregon transfer quarterback to come in, one of these guys, or, Bryce Underwood. That's a long shot, but just at least kind of go play with what options are out there. And again, some of it might be messaging because you don't want Cutter to hit the portal, right away. You want to see what we can get before you let him cut ties and go somewhere else. But y'all watched Cutter play. Both of y'all beat him pretty handily, actually. I don't know. Am I crazy to be like, hey, Cutter being QB1, Cutter Boley being QB1 next year is okay for Kentucky football, or we need to elevate our game? And let me caveat one more thing. Before Will Stein got a hold of Bo Nix, that dude was trashed and was forgotten about at Auburn, and now he got drafted and slinging it in Denver. So Will Stein might be a quarterback whisperer.
What do you think, Hammer?
Yeah.
Well, from what I saw, I think the kid's talented, and he made some throws that not everybody playing college football can make. I mean, and this kid's a freshman too, right? So, I definitely think the potential is there. It's going to be a matter of, one, can he pick up the new offense, and two, what does your backfield look like? Do you have the running backs coming back?
So we got one potentially who actually came from Oregon under Stein and Dowdle. So he's coming back, and I like him. He's he was under McGowan, but he showed breakaway ability. He's a big back who's got speed. Again, he was recruited by Will Stein to Oregon, left Oregon to come to us. But I like him. But we still need to go out and get depth at the running back position. We're chasing after some premium running backs in the freshman market, and then we'll see what ends up coming about in the transfer portal. But our wide receiver room looks like it will be okay. We got to address O-line, D-line. We have to hit it hard because a lot of those guys are leaving. And if you want Cutter to be the guy, the protection and the run name got to be okay, right? It got to be better than okay. They got to be very, very good because he is going to be a redshirt sophomore in a new offense. The play action, the run game, the things that Oregon does, along with having a mobile QB, all those things got to come into play. So he's really got to hit the portal heavy and spend the $22 to $25 million that's projected for next year's roster in the trenches heavily first. And I think let the skilled players come from some of the impressive freshmen we had last year, especially in the wide receiver room. But we'll see how that goes. And then the question about notes, that's who I was talking about. If this dude wants to come to Kentucky and play for Will Stein as a starter in the SEC, you make it a quarterback battle and you say best guy wins. And I think this dude has a very good chance of coming in there and beating out Cutter. I mean, he's crazy talented, and he's a 5-star guy, if I remember correctly, who is just waiting for his opportunity. So now he's going to have an opportunity with what's Oregon's guy who's probably going to get drafted? What's the quarterback's name?
Moore.
Thank you, Dante Moore. So he'll have a chance. But I would say based off our QB room right now, his chance is probably greater getting a starter role with Kentucky than the competition is going to be at Oregon.
Yeah. I mean, that just because of familiarity with the offense, and I don't think the offensive line concern is that big of a concern. I would be more concerned about what's the running back room going to look like, because you've got to be able to take pressure. You can't send Cutter out there and have him throw 40, 45 times a game, expect to win. Plus, I mean, in this league, he's going to get killed if he's dropping back that many times. So you've got to have running backs that can take pressure off of him. You've got to have running backs that can pick up pass protection. So to your point, there's a lot of pieces, but I don't think Kentucky will have an issue getting offensive linemen. I think Kentucky may have a more difficult time getting skill position players. So if you've got some homegrown ones, which is odd, I mean, it's rare now to have guys stay long enough to come up and develop. But if you've got those pieces in place, you could do worse than Cutter Boley, for sure.
Yeah, we could have Zach Calzada
or any of the previous 23 quarterback saviors that's come to Kentucky and not one.
I think Brock Vandegrift in a Will Stein offense is very dangerous, but that is hypothetical and who knows. But Kentucky was so good to Brock Vandegrift that he got retired. So a year early from football, and I think he's farming out now. He's living his dream, shooting ducks and farming and making money that way. But y'all have some quarterback talk too. Louisville is still in question. Tennessee, what's the talk up there out west, AB, about quarterback play? Do you think dude from Nebraska, Raiola, is a legit target for Brom? And do you think he could be the guy he's supposed to be, Mahomes Jr., in Brom's offense?
Hey, look, we all know my personal feelings about that kid. I'm
not a huge fan.
We go take it or leave it. I would leave it, but again, dude. I mean, you got the Brown brothers out there, both good collegiate quarterbacks, and Jeff is a quarterback whisperer, as he's shown by making something out of nothing. The last few years, I think he did a great job with Schuff. Would I have loved to see more production this year? Yeah, absolutely. I don't hate Raiola, as I think definitely we could get some play out of him. Really, to me, the bigger question is, what is our receiving core going to look like? Bell's gone. Colin Lacey is going to really have to step up, but I'm kind of interested to see what they're able to pull in as far as the receiving core. Like, we know we got running backs for days. We got three dudes that are all going to come back next year, a couple of sophomores and a freshman. But replacing Chris Bell is a huge ask. And then, I will say this. I think Raiola would be a better fit for this offense than Miller Moss was. I think Miller Moss struggled to pick up on the offense and to pick up on what Brom really wanted out of him, as evidenced by a lot of the sideline ass chewings that he got this year. He played very tentative, which was not something we saw from Schuff last year. And I think it cost us in some big games where we were trying to lean too heavily on the run game. And when that got stopped and he had to be the guy, he definitely was not that. And that is not really what I expected out of him. So I think from that standpoint, I think what Raiola really does have is he is a competitor, dude. Like, you watch that guy play. He's fiery, like he wants to go out there. He doesn't care who he's playing against. So I think he kind of brings that edge to it. And again, man, I believe in Brom wholeheartely. I really wish we could stop with these 9-win seasons and go a little further and win some big games. But we'll see, dude. I wouldn't hate it. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think he's got potential. I mean, his mannerisms and them really trying to be Mahomes' twin is definitely obnoxious. I do think the media kind of maybe played that up a little bit. He's done it to himself as well. But yeah, I mean, if he comes into your building, I think that's a big one. And then I forgot about this. I don't know if it's official hired yet, but or at least officially announced. But behind the scenes, Kentucky hired Colby Smith as the running backs coach. So, former Louisville guy, he was a running back coach in the pros with the Dolphins, played in the pros himself. So getting that guy, I think he coached college ball in Arkansas as a running back coach. I don't know if that was his last stop, if Miami was. I'm forgetting the timeline, but that's a big get at a running back coach who'll be able to recruit for us. And I think Sloan, while he is known for what he can do with quarterbacks, his offense under as the QB coach with Jaden Daniels was impressive. So I think that's going to attract some folks on the offensive side too. We are always going to, or most of the time, going to fall short of getting the dudes from Bama and Georgia and Tennessee, LSU, now Texas A&M, Texas, like you're going to have to do a very good job if you're going to compete with these guys. But I think we can do well in the transfer portal with these dudes who committed to these schools, didn't quite make it there on the depth chart like we saw last year with JJ and K-Law and those sort of things. That this guy is really talented, but wasn't quite good enough to get on the field consistently at Bama. We can get him here in year 2 and use him as a prime target for our offense and really start to be special, right? So it's a quarterback-driven league, and you gotta have offensive, defensive line in my mind, and let the rest kind of figure itself out. But we'll kind of finish it up with Tennessee and what y'all looking for at quarterback, because your backup just hit the portal, I think. So you are in need of someone who can sling the rock.
Hammer, I'd like to know what you think about that last comment. And I guess it really ties into what Rando is saying anyway, before I say anything.
Well, Merklinger went in the portal, but we expected this to happen. Either he or McIntyre, and apparently McIntyre's a little further along in the offense than Merklinger was. So GMAC will be staying, and it's very unlikely, but it's not totally settled that Joey Aguilar may or may not return based on the lawsuit pending for eligibility. But I don't expect it, and I don't think we can operate as if he is. I think we just have to anticipate he's moving on. So we'll bring in Faison Brandon, who was the now number 2 ranked recruit at quarterback in the nation. But I think we need a veteran presence. I don't know that you want to throw a true freshman, as talented as he is and as excited as we are to have him. I don't think you want to throw him, true freshman, out to the Wolves. That is an SEC schedule. So, it's all wish list and speculation now at this point. But if you want my kind of wish list or guys that I would like to see possibly come, Rayola's not on it. I'll go ahead and tell you that. I think he's probably, if I had a dart throw, I'd say Arizona State would probably be a landing spot for him. Outside shot at maybe Oregon, but I doubt it. But I like Colton Joseph.
Yeah,
a lot. The kid from Old Dominion. I like Amari Odom. He was a quarterback at Kennesaw State, and both these coaches are moving on. And then T and I talked about, and T brought him up, Marcus Stokes, who's at West Florida. Florida actually recruited this kid. So he's like a true dual threat quarterback and a heck of an athlete. So, there's some names out there that I think would be a good fit. And I know everybody's oohing and on over Josh Hoover, who's entering from TCU. I'm not as excited about that one. I would think Colton Joseph would be, if I could say this is the guy I want, it'd be him.
Yeah. So for me, I'm
chance, baby. Sorry, going to the finals. What you
got excited?
Finally beat Wisconsin in the Final Four. I just had to celebrate for a second.
Oh man,
volleyball school. Good for y'all. Good job.
The women got to do the heavy lifting.
Women's volleyball school.
That's true. And basketball too. Kenny Brooks doing well with the basketball team. But all right, what you got, T? My bad.
I'm with Hammer. We all expected it to be either Merch Slinger or McIntyre, and I think most of us leaned the Merklinger way, expecting him to go somewhere. He'll probably go group of 5 or whatever it's called now, type level. That's probably where he needs to be. Just kind of a side note, though, he went about it the right way, and so he's still getting all the support from Tennessee fans, right? Stuck through it the whole season, was supportive, all that. and now entered the portal, and everything that I've been seeing is, hey man, go be great wherever you go. So we now have a true freshman and a redshirt freshman as our quarterbacks. So I think you do need to bring in a pro, quote unquote, just like, an experienced guy, come in, show some good habits, way to study film, all that kind of stuff. And I mentioned the guy from West Florida to Hammer because, I'm biased to Division II, being a Division II guy, but I've seen what Division II quarterbacks can do. And you get somebody in the right system who knows how
LSU's
to do
guy.
Yeah, and again, I'll point at Joey. Like, in terms of physical talent and ability, he's nothing impressive, right? He was a good fit for the offense. He understood it, and so he was able to play very well. But his tools don't blow you off the chart, so it's not like you have to be some Joe Milton, Nico physical ability type quarterback to play well at Tennessee. And so I think he could do really well, and you probably don't have to pay him, $800 million trillion like you might have to the dude from TCU or something like that. So I'd be very, very happy with the Old Dominion guy or West Florida guy, because I think they would come in humble, and I think they'd be willing to get in a battle with McIntyre and Faison. And out of the three, may the best man win. But I do think you have to pull somebody from the portal. You don't want to lay it all on the shoulders of a true freshman and a redshirt freshman, in my opinion.
Yeah. And, the Sam Levitt, Brendan Sorsby, the quarterback from Cincinnati.
That's what I think my top two are to answer.
Yeah,
answer
Lagway,
Will Stein's question here.
Yeah, but these guys are gonna want $3, $4, $5 million.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
for basically renting a quarterback. So I just don't. Plus whatever money we've poured into, Brandon. Man, I don't know. I just don't see. I don't know that we would want to go out and get those guys. Even though I think I like Sorsby's game. I think the jury's out on Lagway. He's got the physical tools. I just think it's between the ears. He's having trouble.
I absolutely do not want Lagway anywhere near my football program.
And I don't like Raiola. I'm on the fence with Hoover. I liked him a couple years ago. This past year, he struggled at times, and I think probably his wide receiver room was better a couple years ago than it was this year. So I mean, I don't know that there's an absolute slam dunk out there anyway. Sam Levitt may be the closest thing to a surefire, but again, it depends on, system and supporting cast, because a lot of dominoes have got to fall with this portal thing before, we're really going to know what the good fits are. But
you just answered this one, Hammer. So you hit on the TCU guy, yeah. And I agree. I think Sorsby's a good hit. Levitt, I think he's gonna require a bunch of money, especially because he did officially enter into the draft, right? Or at least he's testing the waters to see what his pool is going to be in the draft. So I think you don't even really know if he's borderline that guy, then you're probably gonna have to really throw some money on him, kind of like Texas did Ewers a few years back to get him to come back. And then you also have that come to play where a year back might not be the best thing for you, So how long do you want to wait before a guy commits to you is the other thing. But quarterback is the transfer portal is going to be interesting.
The backup from Notre Dame is in the portal as well.
I like him too.
I don't want him at Tennessee just because he's young, not because he can't play, but just the timeline doesn't fit, with us prepping to have Faison or McIntyre, take the reins maybe after this year. But as a talent and stuff, Minchie, I think is a good fit, probably wherever he goes, honestly.
Yeah.
I think he'd be great in Kentucky's offense. Dual threat guy.
Sure you do.
I'm being for real. I think he's good. And I would personally think he would be locked to someone like Vanderbilt. But I don't know what kind of money they had to dump at old boy to flip from Georgia to him and number one recruit coming in, he's probably expecting to come in and start from the jump. So they might be out of it there. I think Minchie's actually projected right now to be going to Florida to play down there. But I would love for Kentucky to get into that because the minutes that he showed in jump time at Notre Dame, he's special with his legs, and he's got a decent arm too. Was watching a lot of his whatever they called the white and gold game, whatever they called their spring game. Watched that when he got some playing time as well. Because Coach Evan was the one to put me on to him. Was like, hey, he's going to the portal. Look out for Kentucky to get to him. So not exactly sure what he's hearing or if it's just kind of speculation, like he thinks it would make sense. But he's the one that turned me on to his game. So we'll see how it goes. Transfer portal coming up. What is it? Open up again in February?
I think so. Yeah, I think they pushed it back.
Yeah. So
I'll throw you one more team out there on quarterback, and then I'll let it go. Jaden Craig is a quarterback at Harvard. Dude had was over 60% completion, 2,400 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions.
Wow.
He's going to end up somewhere. You're gonna know who Jaden Craig is next season. So that's not a horrible name to throw out there. That wouldn't be a ton of money either. So
isn't that where Fitzmagic played?
Sure is.
Yeah, buddy.
The portal is January 2nd through the 16th. So
really? I thought it was in February for some reason.
No, it's here in like 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Right.
The second round of the college football playoff doesn't even start until January 1st.
I thought it was after the playoff.
That's bananas.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at
all.
They
need to do something with this calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to. Hey, I don't know if you're watching the game still.
2-point try. I'm locked in
Seahawks
right
decided
now.
to go for the win, man.
Oh man.
This is big.
I hate them both, but I need the Seahawks to win this game.
Oh my goodness, they got it.
Came wide open.
Wow, dude. You
Ball
know,
game.
Sean McVay is
who's their coach?
Sam Darnold.
Who's their coach?
McDonald.
Dan McDonald.
He was ready to go to sleep. He was like, "Look, we either gonna win or we're gonna lose."
That was. I wish we would have fired Harbaugh and given Dan McDonald the head coaching job, man. Like, good Lord, this dude.
The downfall of Harbaugh is interesting to see. He and Tomlin both have probably run their course. Right?
Oh yeah, dude, they've outstayed their welcome. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, both of them Super Bowl winners, right?
Yep.
Like, thank you. Let's move on.
I got a diehard Steelers fan right next to me at work. My alpha, my deputy chief, and my goodness, he is so fed up with Tomlin, man. And he's been that way. And I'll be like, how do you not like Tomlin? He's talking about, man, he had the killer bees and couldn't win nothing. His Super Bowl was with Coughlin or not with Cowher's team. He is so ready for him to be done. He's like, I need a 2 and 15 seasons so I can get like a decent quarterback. I think he
wins 9 games every year, so you can't get a franchise player.
He does just good enough to stick around. Yeah, and just good enough to stick around and not poor enough to actually get some guys that they actually need in there to have a great football team.
Yep.
But yeah,
so who's Miami's quarterback going to be next year?
Who's Miami? You guys didn't do a good enough job tanking. You ain't got nobody to go after in the draft.
Well, I mean,
you got to pay Tua $50 million whether he plays next year or not. So,
you know what his cap hit is next year if we get rid of him? $99 million.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You got to pay 50.
I have hated Tua since the moment he was drafted. I know that sounds.
Yes, you have.
Since the moment he was drafted, I was wait to the second round, get Jalen Hurts. I watched Jalen Hurts in a national or SEC championship game. I think come back and beat Georgia when he got hurt, and then went to Oklahoma and balled out. Like the dude mentally is just got it more up here. He's got more physical talent than Tua had, and talk about how accurate Tua was and blah blah blah. And everybody is like, well, the concussions has affected his game because he was so good. The 70-point game against Denver. They have beat up on crap teams the whole time McDaniel has been there, and that's all they have done. He has been trashed ever since, and he's a first read guy. I can't stand it, and I hope this Quinn Ewers, my guy. I'm sorry. I hope you come out and suck too, because that's the only way that Mike McDaniels is going to go. If Quinn Ewers comes out and plays well, they're going to say, "Oh, look, Tua, Mike McDaniels is actually a good coach," which is also wrong. But if you're on the sideline wearing something like the poster you put out today, Hammer, where he's got pants that show his ankles, it's not acceptable. This is a grown man. All right, we're sitting at home real pants. All right. Oh, golly.
That dude looks like he lives in mom's basement, has an NIL deal with Hot Pockets and Cheetos, and works in IT.
He looks like a guy who played football at Yale. That's what he looks like. And that's what he
looks like a guy that watched football at Yale.
He did that a lot too, I'm sure. A lot too. But yeah, man, I don't know. We are gonna stink. I was nervous that the Jets were gonna be a better team than us this year, and they are not. But it's not. They're not far off. And it's the other thing. Like you go back and Hammer, I know you're in the numbers, man. So I know you know this. ESPN kept talking about this win streak by Miami, this 4-game win streak, 5-game win streak. It's like, go look at we played the Saints. And we played absolute garbage teams like this. We did
no team with a winning record.
Yeah, which again is the Mike McDaniel special. But I knew that tweet that I put out was not hyperbole, and it was a real bet that I hit up some folks back home to put for me, because like I knew Tua in Pittsburgh on the road 3-point, like stop. There's no way they were going to be able to cover that 3 points. Mm-hmm. So, but I mean, I have no idea who the quarterback's going to be. I hope it's a new QB, a new coach, and we kind of start from scratch. But we shall see. The good news is we have seen it happen where a franchise can get out of a terrible contract very quickly, right? You just got to fire. You got to draft the right dude, Bo Nix, and hire the right coach, Sean Payton, right? And there's not a lot of those dudes out there, but you got to try to do that, because you can pay $250 million to a guy who's sitting on the bench for the Giants right now and still be one of the best teams in the NFL. But you got to find the right quarterback. You got to have a hell of a defense. And there's a lot of things that got to fall your way, but it is possible.
For sure.
It might be as possible as an 8-4 Kentucky season, but it's possible.
James, you mean women's volleyball school?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, listen, volleyball school. Period.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
But that's just one of the things. There's just a comma and like we just keep going.
No, volleyball school. Period. Yeah. Y'all probably put 3 exclamation points after it or something like.
Yep.
9 exclamation points actually. Very well. I remember what I said.
3 times 3.
Yeah. We're a rifle school. We got one of the best gymnastics school, cheerleading school. We're like an 18-time champion.
He's reaching now. You are reaching.
Oh, man, like a Texas fan now.
Reaching.
Reaching. I know you're not a Microsoft Excel school because Tennessee won that. I know you're not a rugby school because Tennessee won that. Yeah.
Was that a club sport?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a real man's game for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't hang a banner for it or anything, but
because he doesn't rate one. It's just it's a club sport. If you had won a national championship in like a real collegiate sport, like volleyball,
it was called the national championship. It was called the national championship. That's all.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
We don't make the rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, boys. It's time for me to go eat some dinner.
Yeah. Same.
And Jay is looking at me like, hey, I need to turn my YouTube videos back on, so I need to steal some bandwidth from the Wi-Fi. So if anybody knows how to fix the Ethernet cable not working on this restream, I cannot figure it out. Everything else worked. YouTube, X, whatever I need to. I plug the Ethernet cord in, restream says it fails. I don't understand it, but hopefully my feed wasn't complete crap today. But I appreciate y'all staying up late. It was another good one. Kentucky got a big game against St. John's. Louisville and Tennessee got cupcakes. So congratulations on your win this weekend. And if we can, let's get back on here Saturday and do a little happy hour show before I head out for Christmas, and we don't get another one until 2026, boys.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
All righty, boys.
All right, y'all. And let's hope Jake Paul gets absolutely beat up tomorrow. I mean, I want him long-term health, but if he's carted out in an ambulance tomorrow, so be
early
it.
Christmas.
Himself.
Early Christmas.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
It's like a 6-foot reach difference. I mean, literally, like Anthony Joshua would play with this like you do your kids and just put your hand on his forehead and watch him just like swing away.
Yeah, he could for sure.
All right, y'all.
All right,
appreciate you. Go Cats.
Bells up.
Go Big Orange.
Go Vols.